It's PMJ, and what am I up to? This, that, and the other, motherfucker. So what's the big craze nowadays at the movies? I mean, what keeps you coming back? I mean, is it IMAX? I mean, that shit is fucking played. I mean, is it the remake? I mean, there's just so many, we can't even fucking keep up with the fucking remake. Remakes, bullshit. I mean, really. And is it 3D? No, 3D. I mean, that shit is just unnecessary booty, really. I mean, what used to be keeping motherfuckers coming back to the movies used to be the motherfucking soundtrack. Let's start with number 5, Above the Fucking Rim. I mean, this is a prime example of what I was talking about. A not so good movie, but with a banging motherfucking soundtrack. Let's just be honest, the fucking script sucked, but the soundtrack was the shit. I mean, really, I mean, it was fucking, it was wet, it was butter, it was like fucking Ray Allen shot and shit. I mean, the Ray Allen from Boston, not this new motherfucker going to their Miami. Let's be real. But, I mean, it had fucking Rage with Afro Puffs, produced by Dr. Dre. I mean, come on, that shit was tight. And then you've got fucking Pour Out a Little Liquor with Tupac. I mean, you can't get any more better than that, really. I mean, and then you've got, you know, the late, great Nate Dogg and Warren G with fucking Regulate, really. I mean, that shit was fucking tight. And then you have SWV and Al B. Sure was on it too when they were 50 pounds lighter, and they were fucking good. And number 4, the next film is Waiting to Exhale. I mean, come on, let's be honest, women. I mean, your mama ain't Patty, Nay, you know, Riri, your grandmama, Big Mama, all of those motherfuckers went out and bought that motherfucking soundtrack. I mean, everybody was on that motherfucker. I mean, Whitney, the late great Whitney, the voice, Tony, we had Aretha, Brandy, TLC, Mary J. Shaka, SWV, Patti LaBelle was on there, Faith. I mean, all of those motherfucking divas was on that damn soundtrack. It was a diva smorgasbord. I mean, with all those egos, I mean, I bet that's where they came up with the diva prayer. Have you heard it? Like to hear it? Here it goes. Armani, which art and Hermes. I mean, motherfuckers, those ghetto bitches like to say Hermes, but it's Hermes. Hallowed be thy Gucci, thy Cartier watch, thy Prada bag, on Rodeo as it is in Tiffany's. Give us this day our Visa Gold, and forgive us of our overdraft, as we forgive those who stop our MasterCard. Lead us not into JCPenney, but deliver us from Sears. For thine is Chanel and Gaultier and Versace, for Dolce and Gabbana, Amex. I mean, that sounds like some fucking gold digging bitch. Gold digger made that shit up. And speaking of divas, the next film, which is far from a motherfucking classic, but it keeps us coming back for more because the soundtrack is the shit. I'm talking about His Purple Badness, Le Petit Prince. And we're talking about Purple Rain. I mean, I have to say, Prince is my all-time favorite fucking artist. I mean, he is a fucking musical genius, but if that nigga was not a fucking musical genius, I mean, what would he be doing? I mean, his job, I mean, because he's the littlest motherfucking man I've ever seen in my life, really. I mean, I've met him, I mean, in real life, I mean, he is a little man. I mean, if he wasn't, you know, doing music, I mean, what was his job be? I mean, fucking midget porn star or something like that. I mean, because he is a fucking freak of the week, let's be honest. Freak of the fucking week. What, he could ride his ass off, he could be a fucking fortune cookie rider or something like that. I mean, write some fortunes, motherfucker. I mean, let's get crazy. I mean, like, really, he could put that in fucking fortune cookies. Or, no, guess what? I have it. He would be a fucking hairdresser because that motherfucker's hair is always fried, dyed, and laid to the motherfucking side, really. And number 2, our next film, a great film and a great motherfucking soundtrack. Do the Right Thing, really. 1989, The Number, Another Summer, Sound of the Funky Drum. I mean, that shit was fucking dope, really. You had Public Enemy, Guy, Take 6. I mean, and you had fucking We Love Roll Call all through that motherfucker. Spike Lee, you are a fucking genius. You did good. I mean, but guess what? You did better when you had fucking Stevie Wonder do the whole soundtrack to Jungle Fever. You're a fucking genius. Just like me. And number 1, the all-time favorite, end-all to be-all of fucking soundtrack has to go to Love Jones, really. I mean, you had Lauryn Hill at her best when she wasn't in fucking tax trouble and she was good. I mean, come on. I mean, really. I mean, but I digress. Why do these talented motherfuckers out of their fucking gourd. They're Martians, they're crazy, they're off somewhere. I don't get it. I mean, you had Maxwell at his best as well. You had Groove Theory, Cassandra Wilson. You had Escape. All I can say is, well, damn. But we're missing it. Where is the art of the soundtrack? It's gone. And there you have it, my list of some of the best movie soundtracks. Do we need to make better films? Yes. Do we need to make better soundtracks? Hell yes. Because a good soundtrack can name the unnameable and communicate the unknowable. Think about it, and I'll see you next week. Peace.